Your cat doesn't know your face, not the way you know hers. She can't recognize you in a photo. She wouldn't be able to spot you across a crowded room. But the moment you walk through that door, before you even say a word, she already knows it's you. That's not luck. That's memory. And it runs much deeper than most people realize. 1. She doesn't remember your face the way you think. Picture this. You've been gone for 2 weeks. You open the front door, and within seconds, your cat is wrapping around your legs like you never left. It feels like recognition, and it is, just not in the way you imagine. Cats don't rely on faces the way humans do. Their vision is excellent for detecting motion and hunting in low light, but it's not designed for detailed facial recognition at a distance. Studies have shown that cats can distinguish human faces, but they don't prioritize them. To your cat, your face is less like a clear portrait and more like a soft, blurry outline connected to something else. What she truly remembers is your signature, your scent, a unique combination of your skin chemistry, your clothes, your environment, even the food you eat. A cat's sense of smell is incredibly powerful, far beyond ours. From the moment she met you, she started building a detailed scent profile of who you are, storing it deep in long-term memory. And it goes further than that. She knows your footsteps, the exact rhythm of how you walk, the subtle jingle of your keys, the sound of your presence moving through space. There's even research showing that cats recognize their owner's voice and can distinguish it from strangers, reacting with ear movements or head turns, even if they choose not to respond. So when you walk in, she doesn't need to see you first. She already knows. She's just choosing when to acknowledge it. 2. The moment she decided you were safe. There's a critical window in a cat's early life, roughly between 2 and 9 weeks old. During this time, her brain is building a permanent map of the world. What is safe? What is dangerous? Who can be trusted? And most importantly, who counts as family? Whatever happens during this period doesn't just fade away. It becomes an emotional blueprint that shapes how she sees the world for the rest of her life. If she was handled gently, spoken to softly, and exposed to kind humans, those experiences get filed under safe. If she was frightened, ignored, or handled roughly, those experiences get filed under threat. And both of those files stay active forever. So here's what that means for you. If you raise your cat as a kitten, if you fed her, comforted her, let her sleep on your chest, spoke to her in that soft voice you only use with her, there's a strong chance she bonded to you on a level that goes far beyond training. You didn't just become familiar. You became her definition of safety. That's why some rescue cats trust quickly and others take a long time. It's not stubbornness. It's memory formed during the only time when it truly locks in. That first time she fell asleep on you, she may not remember it as a story, but she still carries the feeling. And every time you walk into the room, she returns to it. 3. She remembers every moment of fear. This part is hard to hear, but it matters. Cats have strong emotional memory, and the experiences that get stored the deepest are the ones with the strongest emotional charge. Joy matters, but fear sticks faster. Sometimes a single moment is enough. One stressful vet visit, one loud shout, one time she ran and hid under the bed. You may have forgotten it by the end of the day. She didn't. Your cat doesn't think in terms of bad day or mistake. Instead, she creates associations. This person, this situation, this feeling equals danger. And once that link is formed, it can stay for a very long time. That's why many rescue cats flinch at sudden movements. Why a cat that had one painful vet experience can become impossible to carry again. The body remembers fear long after the moment passes. But there's another side to this. Positive experiences build just as strongly. The cat who gets gentle affection every morning. The one who receives a treat after something stressful. The one who is handled with patience and calm. All of that builds trust layer by layer. Kindness accumulates, just like fear does. And over time, it shapes how your cat sees you. 4. She always knows where you are. You're in the kitchen making coffee. Your cat is somewhere else in the house. You haven't seen her in an hour. Then suddenly, the moment you sit down, she appears. It feels almost supernatural, but it isn't. Your cat is constantly tracking you, mentally. She's listening, observing, memorizing patterns, the sound of your chair, the way you close your laptop, the pause you take before going to bed. All of these small details are being recorded and organized into a mental map. So when something doesn't match that map, like your voice coming from an unexpected place, cats actually show signs of surprise. Because in their mind, you were supposed to be somewhere else. That's how precise their internal tracking can be. She's not following you with her eyes. She's following you with memory. And over time, she doesn't just remember you. She remembers your patterns. 5. She hasn't forgotten the one she lost. If you've ever had more than one pet, you may have seen it. After one disappears, something changes. The searching, the wandering, the sniffing of familiar places. Some people say cats don't understand loss, but their behavior suggests otherwise. Cats remember other animals they've lived with, their scent, their routines, their presence. Not vaguely, specifically. So when that presence disappears, they notice the restlessness, the quiet, the changes in appetite or behavior. These aren't random. They could be a form of grief. And it doesn't stop with other animals. Cats have shown similar behaviors after losing their human companions, sleeping in their belongings, waiting by doors, becoming withdrawn. They remember who was there, and they feel the absence when they're gone. Because memory doesn't just disappear, even when reality changes. 6. Your voice is all she needs. At the beginning, I told you your cat doesn't truly know your face. But here's what she knows better than anything else. Your voice, your tone, your rhythm, the way you say her name. Cats can recognize their owner's voice instantly, even if they choose not to react. You'll see it in the smallest details. A flick of the ears, a slight head turn, a shift in attention. And what's even more incredible, that recognition can last for years. Your voice carries something deeper than words. It carries familiarity, comfort, emotional meaning. Every time you speak to your cat, every soft word, every quiet moment, you are reinforcing that memory, not as an image, but as a feeling. Your cat may not see you the way you see her, but she knows you in ways that truly matter. Through scent, through sound, through memory, and through a bond that goes far deeper than sight. Have you ever stared at your cat and wondered, hold on, am I raising a tiny furry monarch? Perhaps they turn their nose up at food unless it's freshly served, or maybe they yell at you for unlocking a door. 2 seconds too late. They might even look at you like you're just their employee. But here is the surprising reality. A pampered feline isn't always a negative thing. In fact, it's often a sign of deep trust, an emotional bond, and some clever manipulation that your cat has fully perfected. Today, we are exploring 9 indicators that your cat is truly spoiled, and some of these traits might just prove who is actually running your home. Before we dive in, remember to like this video, subscribe to Catera, and activate notifications so your cat never misses another secret uncovered about their mysterious little world. Now, let's discover the truth. Number 1. Your cat rejects their meal and demands a better option. You pour premium cat. Food into their dish, but your kitty sniffs it once and walks away dramatically, resembling a food critic at a 5-star bistro. 10 minutes later, they are begging you for treats. This stands as one of the clearest signs of a spoiled cat. They have discovered that if they hold out long enough, you will eventually serve something much tastier. Honestly, most pet parents accidentally encourage this habit without realizing it. Cats are highly intelligent. They quickly link their actions to rewards. If being picky always results in finer food, your cat realizes they can dictate the menu. But looking deeper, sometimes pampered cats aren't just fussy, they're intensely attached to their routines and comfort. A sudden shift in their diet can genuinely cause them stress. Number 2, they wake you up as if you were their personal assistant. It's 4 a.m. and you suddenly feel a little pause on your chest, a loud meow right in your face, or even a claw softly tapping your nose. Your cat wants breakfast immediately. Spoiled felines often assume the household functions on their schedule, and since many owners instantly get up to feed them, this behavior grows stronger over time. What's amazing is how quickly cats memorize human patterns. If you wake up once, they note it. If you wake up twice, congratulations, you have been successfully trained. Number 3, they refuse to drink stale water. Some cats seem personally insulted if their water has been sitting out for too long. Only fresh water, a spotless bowl, or perhaps even filtered water will do. And if the quality isn't perfect, they will glare at you with absolute disappointment. This habit actually stems from instinct. In nature, stagnant water can be hazardous. However, pampered indoor cats take this survival trait to an extreme level. Many spoiled kitties even demand running water straight from the faucet because they know humans will turn it on for them. Yes, your cat may have effectively upgraded from standard bowl service to a luxury fountain experience. Number 4, your cat claims every seat in the house. You stand up for just 5 seconds and suddenly your chair is occupied. Your cat has taken over. Spoiled cats fully expect access to the premier sleeping spots, cozy blankets, plush pillows, and even your side of the bed. Somehow, humans always give in. Yet, here is what makes this behavior so fascinating. Cats select spots that carry the scent of the people they trust the most. So while it looks like dominance, it can actually be a sign of affection and emotional comfort. Still, it doesn't change the reality that they stole your spot. Number 5, they ignore costly toys to play with garbage. You purchase expensive gadgets, but your cat prefers the cardboard box, a shopping receipt, or a stray bottle cap. Spoiled cats often become overwhelmed when given too many options. Ironically, basic objects activate their hunting instincts much more naturally. But the true sign of being spoiled, they expect you to join in. They carry the toy to you, drop it at your feet, and stare until the entertainment begins. Because, in their mind, you're not the owner, you're simply the staff. Number 6, they demand nonstop attention. Certain cats follow their humans everywhere. The bathroom? They are there. The kitchen? Right behind your steps. Trying to get work done? Completely forbidden. Pampered cats become intensely attached to human attention and engagement. Many figure out exactly how to disrupt your tasks because they know it gets a reaction. And if they are ignored, some cats tip things over on purpose, not out of malice, but because they have learned that chaos delivers results. Number 7, they follow a strict sleeping routine. Does your kitty sleep in the exact same spot every night? The same blanket, the same posture, the same hour? Spoiled cats often become fixated on comfort rituals. These habits help them feel secure and emotionally grounded. But the moment that routine gets disrupted, the drama unfolds. They might cry, wander around, or glare at you resentfully until everything goes back to normal. Such a tiny creature, yet such a massive attitude. Number 8, your cat expects a doorman service. 1 minute they want to go out, 2 seconds. Later they want back inside, then out again, and back in once more. Spoiled cats often view doors as if humans created them solely for feline accommodation. Amazingly, owners continue to open them every single time. Your cat isn't mixed up. Your cat is simply testing how devoted their staff truly is. Number 9, they rule the whole house with a single look. This represents the ultimate indicator. You alter your own behavior based entirely on your cat's mood. If they're sleeping, you step quietly. If they look annoyed, you apologize to them. If they watch you while you eat, you feel a wave of guilt. At this stage, your cat has gained complete emotional control over the home. Frankly, most cat parents secretly adore it because spoiled cats are typically deeply cherished cats. They feel safe, secure, and relaxed enough to display their full personality, dramatic demands and all. So, maybe being pampered isn't the worst thing after all. If your cat displays any of these traits, let us know in the comments. Which spoiled behavior does your cat exhibit the most? And honestly, who really rules your home? If you like this video, be sure to check out our next clip about the strange, secret habits cats display when they genuinely trust you. You won't view your feline friend the same way again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications for more incredible cat secrets right here on Catera. Until next time, Give your tiny, furred ruler an extra cuddle from us. Have you ever stopped to wonder who is actually running your household? You pay the mortgage, you buy the groceries, and you provide the comfort. But your cat? Your cat decides when the day begins, which room is theirs, and exactly how much attention you're allowed to give them. Welcome back. Today, we're not just talking about cute cats. We're decoding the sophisticated, often hilarious, and sometimes demanding world of the spoiled feline. We've identified 11 distinct signs that your cat isn't just a companion. They're the true monarch of your home. We'll explore the science behind their antics and why, despite all their demands, we can't help but love them. Let's dive in. 1. The picky eater, culinary authority. It starts with a food bowl. You buy the premium brand, but they sniff it once and walk away. Why? It's not just pickiness. It's a display of food security. In the wild, cats are solitary hunters. They test food for freshness instinctively. When your cat rejects a meal, they're telling you that their standard for prey quality is higher than what you've provided. Pro tip: try changing textures or temperature as they react to the scent of the food more than the taste. 2. Furniture dominance. Have you ever noticed your cat sleeps exactly where you want to sit? This isn't an accident. They choose the most prominent, central, and comfortable spots in the house. This is a territorial instinct. By occupying your favorite chair, they're marking it with their pheromones, telling the world, and you, that this is their primary observation post. 3. The on-demand meow. The meow is a fascinating evolutionary tool. Interestingly, adult cats rarely meow at other cats. They reserve it almost exclusively for humans. When they meow incessantly for attention, they have successfully hacked human communication. They know that your brain is wired to respond to high-pitched, demanding sounds. You are just being annoyed. You are being trained. 4. Playtime terms. Ever try to play with your cat, only for them to get bored and walk away, leaving you holding a feather wand? A spoiled cat doesn't play for your entertainment. They play for their own stimulation. They control the start and end of the session, reinforcing the fact that they are the ones setting the schedule. 5. The gift giving. When they bring you a toy or, in more extreme cases, prey, it's not just a gift. In a feline family, the mother brings back injured prey to teach kittens how to hunt. By bringing you gifts, your cat is literally treating you like a clumsy kitten who doesn't know how to feed themselves. It's their way of looking after their human staff. 6. The slow blink, a sign of status. The slow blink is the ultimate sign of a confident, secure cat. Closing their eyes in your presence is a massive vulnerability. By doing this, they are signaling, I trust you enough to not watch my back because I own this space and you are my designated guardian. 7. Bedtime sovereignty. Why do they insist on sleeping on your pillow? It's the highest point of the bed, giving them a 360-degree view, and it's saturated with your scent. For a cat, your head is the safe zone. If they choose to sleep there, it's a major compliment, but it's also a way to ensure that if you move, they know exactly what you're doing. 8. Inspecting the guests. When a visitor arrives, does your cat sit in the middle of the room, staring? This is the security inspection. They're determining if this new person is a threat to their territory. A spoiled cat feels entitled to vet every person who enters their kingdom. 9. The 5 a.m. wake-up call. This is the most common complaint. They wake you at dawn to play or eat. Cats are crepuscular, most active at dawn and dusk. Your cat is simply following their biological clock. And since they see you as a member of their pride, they expect you to be awake and productive during their peak activity hours. 10. The scent marking rub. When they rub their cheeks against your legs, they aren't just saying, I love you. They have scent glands on their cheeks that release pheromones. They are literally putting a property of cat's name label on you. You're being claimed as part of their territory. 11. The door test. They ask to go into a room, then immediately want back out. This is a test of your availability. They want to know that you are ready to serve them the moment they make a request. It's not about the room. It's about the control. So, is your cat spoiled? Probably. But here's the secret. We love it. We provide the food, the shelter, and the care, and in return, we get the comfort of their presence. Understanding these behaviors doesn't mean you have to stop spoiling them. It just helps you understand their language. If you enjoyed this deep dive, consider subscribing for more insights into the incredible behavior of our feline companions. Leave a comment below with the most spoiled thing your cat has ever done. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and give your little ruler a treat for me. See you next time.
Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and found your cat staring at you? Not just lying there, not just sleeping, but watching you. Still, silent, focused, almost like they're trying to understand something about you or maybe tell you something you're not hearing. Because here's the truth most cat owners never realize. When your cat chooses to sleep with you, it's not random. It's not just comfort, and it's definitely not just warmth. It's communication. A quiet, instinctive, deeply emotional message that most humans completely miss. And once you understand what your cat is actually saying in those moments, you'll never look at them the same way again. So, tonight, when your cat curls up beside you, or presses their body against yours, or even claims your pillow like it belongs to them, you might start to notice something strange, something intentional, something personal. Because your cat isn't just sleeping. They're telling you a story. And it begins with something far deeper than affection. It begins with trust, but not the kind of trust you think. See, in the wild, sleep is the most dangerous moment in a cat's life. It's when they are most vulnerable. When their senses are lowered, when a single mistake could mean everything. So cats evolved to be extremely selective about where and with whom they sleep. They don't just lie down anywhere. They don't just relax next to anyone. They choose, very carefully, which means when your cat chooses you, your bed, your space, they're making a decision rooted in survival. Think about that for a second. Out of every possible place in your home, every corner, every hidden spot, every quiet surface, they choose to sleep next to a giant, unpredictable human who moves, breathes, turns, and makes noise in the night. Why? Because to them, you are safe, not just comfortable. Safe enough to let their guard down completely. Safe enough to enter deep sleep. Safe enough to trust with their life. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Because your cat doesn't just trust you as a person. They trust you as part of their environment, their territory, their world. To your cat, you're not separate from their space. You are their space. And when they sleep next to you, they're not just seeking comfort. They're anchoring themselves to the safest point in their universe, you. But there's another layer to this, something most people completely overlook. Have you noticed where your cat chooses to sleep? Next to your head, on your chest, at your feet? That position isn't random either. It's strategic. If your cat sleeps near your head, it's often because that's where your scent is strongest. Your breath, your hair, your natural smell. To a cat, scent is everything. It's how they identify safety, familiarity, and emotional connection. So when they curl up near your face, they're surrounding themselves with your scent, almost like they're saying, "This is where I belong." But if your cat sleeps on your chest, that means something entirely different. It means they're syncing with you, your heartbeat, your breathing, your rhythm. This is something kittens do with their mothers. They listen, they feel, they regulate themselves through that connection. So when your adult cat lies on your chest, pressing their body against yours, they're not just being affectionate. They're reliving one of the earliest forms of emotional security they've ever known. And somehow, you've become that source. But what about when your cat sleeps at your feet? That one confuses a lot of people. It feels distant, less emotional, almost like they're choosing space over closeness. But in reality, it's the opposite. Sleeping at your feet is a protective position. From there, your cat has a clear view of the room, a quick escape route if needed, and a way to guard the entrance to your shared space. In other words, they're watching over you, quietly, instinctively, almost like a silent guardian. And here's something most people never notice. If your cat changes where they sleep depending on your mood, that's not coincidence. Cats are incredibly sensitive to emotional shifts. They pick up on your tone, your body language, even subtle changes in your breathing. So if you've had a stressful day, or you're feeling low, or something just feels off, your cat knows. And sometimes they respond by getting closer, sleeping nearer to your chest, your face, your hands, not because they need comfort, but because you do. And this is where things start to feel almost unbelievable. Because what if your cat isn't just reacting to your emotions? What if they're trying to regulate them? There's growing evidence that the presence of a cat, especially during sleep, can actually lower stress levels. Their warmth, their steady breathing, even the soft vibration of their purring. All of it sends signals to your nervous system. Signals that say, you're safe, you can relax, you can rest, and your body responds. Your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens, your mind becomes quieter. But here's the part that makes it feel almost intentional. Cats don't purr randomly. They purr for specific reasons. And one of those reasons is healing. Not just for themselves, but for others. The frequency of a cat's purr has been shown to promote relaxation, reduce stress, and even support physical healing. So when your cat curls up next to you and starts purring softly as you fall asleep, it's not just a comforting sound, it's a signal, a message, almost like they're saying, I'm here, you're okay, sleep. And maybe, just maybe, they're doing it on purpose, but there's still something deeper happening here, something instinctual, something ancient, because when your cat sleeps with you, they're not just bonding, they're claiming, not in a possessive way, but in a territorial, identity-based way. Cats use scent to mark what belongs to them, and when they sleep on you, rub against you, need your blanket, or even your body, they're leaving their scent behind, mixing it with yours, creating a shared identity, a shared space, a shared connection. It's their way of saying, this human is mine. And before you think that sounds one-sided, consider this. You've probably started to recognize your cat's scent, too. That subtle, familiar smell that makes you feel calm. At home, connected. So, in a way, you've both marked each other. You just don't realize it. Now, here's a question most people never ask. What happens when your cat suddenly stops sleeping with you? At first, it might seem like nothing. Maybe they found a new spot. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe they're just being a cat, but sometimes it means something more. Cats are creatures of habit, and when they change those habits, there's always a reason. It could be physical discomfort, a shift in their environment, or even a subtle change in your behavior or emotional state. So if your cat suddenly chooses distance, it's worth paying attention. Not with worry, but with awareness. Because just like when they come closer, when they move away, they're still communicating, still telling you something. And here's the part that might surprise you the most. Your cat doesn't see you the way you think. You're not just their owner. You're not just the one who feeds them. To your cat, you are something much closer to family, but not in a human way, in a feline way. They treat you like another cat, a larger, slightly strange, but deeply trusted member of their group. That's why they groom you sometimes, why they headbutt you, why they slow blink at you. And yes, why they sleep with you. Because in the world of cats, sleeping together is one of the strongest signs of social bonding. It's reserved for those they trust the most, those they feel safe around, those they consider theirs. And that brings us to something important, something most people overlook because it feels so simple. but it's actually one of the most meaningful parts of this entire connection. Your cat chooses you every single night. They don't have to. They could sleep anywhere. They could hide, isolate, or stay distant. But they don't. They come back again and again, and that choice says everything. Now, if you've ever wondered whether your cat truly loves you, or if they're just tolerating you, this is your answer. Because love, in a cat's language, isn't loud. It's not obvious. It doesn't look like a dog wagging its tail or jumping with excitement. It's quiet, subtle, intentional. It looks like a small, warm body curling up next to yours in the dark, trusting you enough to fall asleep. And if you're starting to see your cat differently right now, if you're realizing that what seemed like a simple habit is actually something much deeper, then you're not alone. Most people miss this. They go years without understanding what their cat is really telling them. So before we go further, take a moment. Think about your cat, where they sleep, how they position themselves when they choose to be close. Because once you start noticing these patterns, you can't unsee them. And if you're enjoying uncovering these hidden behaviors, this silent language your cat uses every day, make sure you stay with me, because what we're about to uncover next might completely change the way you respond to your cat, starting tonight. Now, let's talk about something that feels small, but reveals a lot. Movement during sleep. Have you ever noticed your cat twitching, their paws moving, like they're running, their whiskers flicking, ears shifting, tiny sounds escaping? It looks like dreaming, and it is, but it's also something more. During these moments, your cat is in a deep state of vulnerability, completely immersed in their inner world, and yet they stay next to you. They don't retreat to a hidden corner. They don't isolate themselves. They remain close, which means even in their most unguarded state, they feel safe with you. But here's something even more fascinating. Sometimes your cat will wake up suddenly, look at you, and then go right back to sleep. That quick glance, that's not random. It's a check-in, a reassurance, a silent confirmation that everything is still okay, that you're still there, that their world hasn't changed. And once they confirm that, they relax again. That tiny moment says more than most people realize, because it shows that your presence isn't just comforting. It's grounding, stabilizing, essential. And now, let's go one level deeper, because everything we've talked about so far leads to one powerful realization. Your cat isn't just sharing your bed. They're sharing your emotional space. They're syncing with you in ways that go beyond what we can easily see. Your rhythms, your moods, your energy. And over time, this creates something rare, a bond that doesn't rely on words, a connection that exists in silence, in presence, in trust. So tonight, when your cat jumps onto your bed, when they circle a few times, settle in and press themselves gently against you. Don't just see it as a habit. See it for what it really is, a message, a choice, a connection. Because in their own quiet way, your cat is telling you something most humans spend their entire lives trying to hear. You are safe with me too. And maybe that's why they keep coming back, night after night. Not just to sleep, but to stay close to the one place they truly feel at home. You.
Think your cat just sees you as a walking food dispenser? Think again. If your feline companion has ever shown you even one of the 5 behaviors we're about to cover, your connection is far deeper than you realize. You aren't just the person who fills their bowl every morning. You are their ultimate safe haven, the one they choose to trust blindly in a world full of unpredictable threats. Sadly, so many owners witness these actions every single day and completely misread them. They dismiss cats as cold, distant, or impossible to understand, simply shrugging and saying, "Well, that's just how cats act." But once you decode the true meaning behind these subtle gestures, the way you look at your pet will change forever. Make sure to stay with us until the very end, because the fifth behavior is something most people only appreciate once it stops happening entirely. Behavior number 1, turning their back to you and staying there. It sounds completely backwards, doesn't it? Your cat strolls over, hops onto the sofa right next to you, and then immediately turns around, facing away, cutting off eye contact and offering nothing but a gently moving tail. If a person did this to you on a date, you'd walk away thinking you were being ignored. In the feline world, however, it means the exact opposite. In the wild, a cat's neck, back, and belly are their most vulnerable zones, the prime targets for any predator. When your cat willingly turns their back to you and relaxes, they're making a profound statement. I don't need to watch you. Think about the weight of that choice. If they had even a shred of fear that you might harm them, survival instinct would force them to face you, tracking your every movement. Instead, they choose to let their guard down completely. The next time your cat turns away from you, don't feel snubbed. You've just received an ultimate badge of trust. Behavior number 2, sleeping on you or right next to you. For any animal, sleep is the ultimate state of vulnerability. Eyes are shut, muscles are limp, and reaction times drop to 0. Out in nature, picking the wrong spot to sleep can be a fatal mistake. So, when your kitty chooses to doze off on your chest, curl up between your legs, or press tightly against your side, it's not just a quest for body heat. They're choosing the most secure spot in their entire world. Your steady heartbeat, your rhythmic breathing, and your warmth all signal one thing to their instincts. Nothing bad can happen here. They aren't just seeking physical comfort. They're seeking absolute protection. If they repeatedly choose you as their bedtime partner, it means you have become their ultimate safe zone. And if you ever notice them rolling onto their back, exposing their stomach with legs stretched out, that's the highest level of security possible, a posture they will never display around someone they don't fully trust. So, when your leg goes numb under their weight, remember it's a profound privilege. Behavior number 3, grooming you like family. Has your cat ever licked your fingers, your hair, or even your face? It can feel a bit abrasive and rough, and it often leaves owners feeling confused, but this behavior is far from random. In a cat's world, mutual grooming is a highly exclusive club. It is strictly reserved for deep emotional bonds, like a mother cat with her kittens or closely bonded littermates. Grooming goes way beyond hygiene. It is a tool for social bonding. When your cat licks you, 3 incredible things are happening. First, they are leaving their scent on you, essentially declaring, "You belong to my pack." Second, the action connects them back to the soothing comfort they felt from their mother during infancy. Third, they are extending the exact same care they only give to family. That sandpaper tongue might feel a bit strange, but the underlying message is incredibly tender. You are mine, and I'm looking after you. Behavior number 4, marking you with their scent. Think about that gentle headbutt against your hand, or the way they rub their cheeks against your legs, weaving through your ankles the moment you step through the front door. While it looks like simple, clumsy affection, in cat language, it's an incredibly clear proclamation. Cats possess specialized scent glands on their cheeks, foreheads, and around their mouths. When they rub against you, they are leaving behind a custom chemical signature. In their reality, scent equals familiarity and safety, and they don't share this signature lightly. Marking you is their way of saying, you are a permanent part of my safe haven. This isn't toxic jealousy or possessiveness. It is pure reassurance. They are including you in the very space that keeps them grounded. A cat's sensory world is highly sensitive. Loud noises, unfamiliar scents, and sudden adjustments can easily stress them out. Every time they press their head against you, they are confirming that you are the anchor in their environment. You aren't just an occupant of the house. You are a vital landmark on their map of safety. Behavior number 5, bringing you gifts, even the ones you didn't ask for. A lifeless bug on the rug, or a favorite toy dropped onto your pillow at 5 o'clock in the morning. To us, these tokens can feel unpleasant or downright gross. But in the feline world, this is the ultimate compliment. Mother cats naturally bring hunted prey back to their nest for their kittens, first dead, then injured, to teach them how to survive. It is their instinctive way of sharing resources and mentoring. When your cat presents you with a trophy, they're doing three beautiful things. They're sharing their food with you as family, showcasing their skills as a provider, and most importantly, welcoming you into a deeply private instinctual ritual. In their mind, it's a moment of immense pride. I hunted for us, and I brought this back for you. You might not want the gift, but in your cat's heart, it is a sacred offering. Sadly, many owners only realize how truly special this gesture was when their cat enters their senior years and stops bringing gifts altogether. If there is one thing you should take away from this, it's that cats never waste these behaviors. They don't groom just anyone. They don't sleep on just any lap. They don't expose their backs to people they doubt. They don't mark just anyone with their scent, and they absolutely do not bring gifts to humans they don't cherish. If your cat displays even one of these traits regularly, you are so much more than a food provider. You are their home, their anchor, and the entity they trust completely in a chaotic world. Take a moment to think about your own pet. Which of these 5 signs do they show you? Do they sleep on your chest, lick your hands, or leave little presents by your door? Share your story down in the comments below. Your experience could help another owner realize they are far more loved than they ever imagined. If you want to continue understanding your cat on a deeper level, recognizing them not just as a pet, but as a thinking, feeling companion, please like this video and subscribe to Catera. Make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly insights into feline psychology. Because here at Catera, we don't just keep cats. We learn to listen when they whisper, "You're my favorite human." Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. How cats actually find their way home. This will shock you. You've probably lived with your cat for years and think you know everything about her. But honestly, cats are way more complex than we give them credit for. In fact, some facts about them sound straight out of a science fiction movie. And if you've ever wondered how on earth a cat can find its way home from hundreds of miles away, the mind-blowing answer is waiting for you at the very end. Let's look at 15 unusual facts that will completely change how you look at cats. 1. Is it true that cats have a dominant paw, just like we have a dominant hand? Yep, it's 100% true, and science has proven it. Just like humans, cats are either right-handed or left-handed, or rather, right-pawed or left-pawed. The only difference is that instead of watching them right, you have to look at which paw they use first to swat at a toy, grab an object, or fish a piece of food out of tight space. A study from Queen's University Belfast found a super interesting pattern here. Most male cats are left-pawed, while most female cats favor their right paw. Scientists think this comes down to hormones, specifically how testosterone and estrogen shape the way the brain's hemispheres develop. You can actually test this at home. Pop a treat inside a narrow jar and see which paw your cat reaches in with. Do it 10 times. If they use the same paw 8 out of 10 times, that's their dominant side. 2. Why do cats always land on their feet? Picture this. A cat slips off a bookshelf back first, flips herself around mid-air in a fraction of a second, and sticks a perfect forepaw landing like she planned it all along. It looks like magic or a high-budget CGI effect, but it's actually pure physics and incredible anatomy. Inside a cat's inner ear is something called the vestibular system, which acts as an internal gyroscope, detecting the body's position in space faster than you can blink. The second the brain gets the panic signal, "Hey, I'm falling and I'm upside down," the righting reflex takes over. This is a survival skill perfected over millions of years of evolution. First, the cat twists her head horizontally, using her eyes and inner ear to find the horizon. Next, the front of the body follows the head, and finally, the back half twists to match. Because a cat's spine has 30 vertebrae, it's incredibly flexible, allowing the front and back sections to rotate completely independently, like a 2-part machine. This whole flip takes less than half a second. However, there's a catch. A cat needs to fall from at least 1 foot to have enough time to finish the rotation. Because of this, falling from a low height, like off a kitchen chair, can actually be way more dangerous than falling from higher up. If the drop is too short, the reflex doesn't fully kick in and the cat lands awkwardly, meaning her joints can't absorb the impact. 3. Can a cat actually recognize its own name? They absolutely can, and yes, it's been scientifically proven. A major study back in 2019 showed that cats can easily tell their own name apart from random words and even the names of other cats living in the same house. When they hear their name, they'll twitch their ears, move their head, or flick their tail. They even do this when a complete stranger says it, which proves they know the exact sound pattern of their name, not just the familiar sound of your voice. But here is the catch. Knowing their name and actually responding to it are two completely different things. Your cat hears you perfectly well, and she knows you're talking to her. But whether she actually gets up is a personal business decision she makes based on convenience. Is it worth walking over for some attention? Or is it better to just stay on the couch and keep sleeping? She isn't ignoring you. She's making a conscious choice. And let's face it, most of the time, the couch wins. 4. Is it true that cats have more bones than humans? It's true, and the gap is pretty wild. An adult human has 206 bones, but a cat has around 230. Most of those extra bones are packed into their spine and tail. A cat's spine has 30 vertebrae compared to our 26, and that extra spacing is exactly why they are so incredibly bendy. It's what lets them flip mid-air, squeeze through gaps that are no wider than their head, and contort into shapes that look physically impossible. Their tail alone has between 19 and 23 vertebrae, and every single one moves independently. This makes the tail the ultimate multi-tool. It acts as a counterweight when they walk along narrow ledges, a rudder for steering during high-speed chases and jumps, and a mood indicator that broadcasts how they're feeling in real time. Cats born without tails, like the Manx breed, compensate by growing stronger rear leg muscles, but their overall balance and agility definitely take a hit compared to cats with tails. 5. Why do cats' eyes glow in the dark? We've all been there. You flip on the lights at night, step into a dark room, and suddenly 2 glowing discs are staring back at you, floating in the air. They aren't red like a monster in a horror movie. Instead, they glow green, yellow, or a bright blue depending on your cat's eye color. If you aren't expecting it, it can definitely make your heart skip a beat. The secret behind this is a special layer of cells right behind the cat's retina called the tapetum lucidum. Think of it like a tiny, built-in mirror. When light enters the eye, it passes through the retina, hits this mirror, and bounces right back onto the light receptors. This gives the eye a second chance to catch any bits of light it missed the first time around, effectively doubling the amount of light the cat can process with every single glance. Thanks to this feature, cats can see perfectly in dark conditions where human eyes see absolutely nothing. The creepy glow you see in the dark is just that reflected light bouncing back out through the pupil, like a flashlight beam hitting a mirror. The specific color of the glow depends on the chemicals inside the tapetum and the cat's natural coloring. Most cats glow green or yellowish green, but Siamese and other blue-eyed cats often glow reddish because their mirrors contain less reflective pigment. 6. Do cats sweat? They do, but only through the pads of their paws. Cats have virtually zero sweat glands across the rest of their body. The only spots that sweat are their paw pads and the skin right around their nose. If your cat gets stressed out at the vet clinic and leaves damp little paw prints on the metal exam table, that isn't water, that's stress sweat. Let's actually look for this to see how anxious a cat is feeling. Because they can't sweat all over, cats cool themselves down in other ways. By panting, by grooming themselves, since evaporating saliva pulls heat away from the fur, and by hunting down cool surfaces like bathroom tiles, a porcelain sink, or the kitchen floor. That's exactly why you'll see a hot cat pancake herself flat on the tile floor with her belly down. The belly has the thinnest fur, so putting that bare skin against a cold surface quickly cools the blood pumping through her stomach area. 7. Do cats dream? They definitely do, and scientists are incredibly confident about it. When a cat sleeps, Her brain waves pass through the exact same stages as a human brain, including REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, which is the exact phase where we experience vivid dreams. During REM sleep, you'll see cats twitch their paws like they're running, move their whiskers, and rotate their ears towards sounds that aren't there. Sometimes their tail will twitch, or they'll make quiet little noises, muffled meows, chattering, or even a soft growl. All of this tells us the brain is actively painting pictures and running through life events. A study at MIT showed that when animals sleep, the exact same brain paths light up as when they were awake doing specific activities. This strongly suggests that a cat dreams about what she did that day. If she spent the afternoon stalking a fly, she's dreaming about the hunt. If she spent it purring in your lap, she's dreaming about you. When those paws twitch and the claws come out, she's chasing a mouse that only exists in her head. And judging by her expressions, sometimes she actually catches it. 8. Is it true that cats can't chew? It's true. A cat's jaw can only move up and down, kind of like a pair of scissors. They literally cannot do the side-to-side grinding motion that humans and other plant eaters use to chew. A cat's teeth are built exclusively to tear, slice, and swallow meat, not to grind food down. Because of this, cats swallow their food in large chunks without processing it in their mouths at all. Even dry kibble isn't actually chewed. The cat just cracks the piece with her teeth, so it's small enough to swallow whole. This explains a lot of behaviors that confuse cat owners. Ever wonder why your cat barfs up whole, completely undigested chunks of food? Or why she eats at lightning speed? Or why she prefers smooth pâté over chunky wet food? Her digestive system is biologically built for small prey that can be swallowed practically whole. Managing large pieces is a tough job for the stomach, and it doesn't always get it right on the first try. 9. Is it true that cats sleep 16 hours a day? On average, they sleep between 12 and 16 hours, and some exceptionally lazy cats can log up to 20 hours a day. But don't look at this as laziness or a sign of illness. It's a brilliant evolutionary survival strategy. In the wild, a cat is an apex predator that hunts in short, incredibly intense bursts of energy. Every single hunt requires an explosive, all-out effort. Between those hunts, the only way to protect and conserve that valuable energy is to go to sleep. A cat's brain is hardwired to save resources whenever possible. Even though a house cat doesn't have to hunt, run from predators, or patrol a dangerous territory, that ancient energy-saving program is still running in the background. Her brain keeps flipping the body into sleep mode every chance it gets, because millions of years of wild evolution don't just vanish after 10,000 years of living indoors with humans. 10. Is it true that a cat can jump 6 times its own height? It's true, and it is easily one of the most impressive athletic records in the entire mammal kingdom. An average cat stands about 12 inches tall at the shoulder, but she can leap straight up 5 to 6.5 feet from a dead stop. No running start, no momentum, just one explosive push from her back legs. If a human had that same proportional jumping power, you could leap straight from the sidewalk onto the roof of a 3-story building. The secret lies in the design of their hind legs. They are noticeably longer than the front legs and packed with incredibly powerful extensor muscles that act like a mechanical catapult, storing raw energy in the tendons when the cat crouches down and releasing it all in a single, instantaneous burst. Right before a jump, you'll notice a cat crouch down and rock slightly back and forth. She's measuring the distance while her brain calculates the perfect angle, pushing force, and flight path in a fraction of a second. It's done with enough precision to land perfectly on the razor-thin edge of a shelf or the top of a fence that's only a couple of inches wide. 11. Why do cats hate water but get totally hypnotized by a running faucet? It's a hilarious contrast. You can't drag your cat into a bathtub without a fight. She hisses at puddles, and she'll walk all the way around a wet kitchen floor. Yet, that exact same cat will sit for hours by the bathroom sink, watching water drip from the faucet, batting at it, shoving her face into it, and trying to bite the stream. There's actually no contradiction here, because to a cat, still water and running water are two entirely different things. Still water, like a full bathtub, represents a trap where her coat gets soaked. Wet fur loses its insulation, gets incredibly heavy, and robs the cat of the speed and agility her survival depends on. On the flip side, running water from a tap is a moving target. It catches the light, makes noise, shifts shapes, and acts completely unpredictable. Anything that moves unpredictably triggers a cat's deep-seated hunting instinct. She doesn't want to take a bath. She wants a hunt. To her brain, that stream of running water is the exact same type of prey as a buzzing fly or a red lizard, except it's wet and impossible to catch, which makes it even more addictive to watch. 12. Why do a cat's pupils turn into thin slits? On a bright, sunny day, a cat's pupils will shrink down to razor-thin vertical slits, letting in only the bare minimum of light. But in deep dusk or total darkness, those slits expand into massive, round black discs that take over almost the entire color of the eye, making their eyes look completely black. The vertical pupil is a classic calling card of ambush predators that hunt close to the ground. The vertical slit gives them incredibly precise control over how much light hits the retina across a massive range, from blinding midday sun to pitch black night. At the same time, it provides incredibly sharp horizontal focus. This is absolutely critical for a predator that strikes from a hidden spot and has to calculate the exact distance to its target with split-second accuracy before springing. Interestingly, big cats like lions, tigers, leopards, and cheetahs have round pupils, not slits. The difference comes down to how they hunt. Big cats chase their prey over wide-open ground across long distances, so they don't need that ultra-sharp, close-range focus. Small cats, including our pets, specialize in lightning-fast, short sprints from hiding spots, and for that specific job, the vertical slit gives them a massive edge in targeting accuracy. 13. Is it true that a cat can run up to 30 miles per hour? It's true. Over short distances, a standard house cat can accelerate up to 30 miles per hour. To put that in perspective, that is faster than Usain Bolt at his absolute peak, whose top speed was around 27 miles per hour. Your cat can outrun the fastest human alive, and she does it thanks to a unique skeletal design. Her flexible spine bends and straightens out like a heavy metal spring with every single stride, adding extra distance to every bound. Her back legs are longer than her front legs and act like a launch catapult, while her extended claws act like running spikes on a sprinter's shoes, digging deep into the ground for traction. However, this crazy speed is only sustainable in short bursts of a few dozen yards. After that, the cat has to stop completely and pant heavily. Because her muscles operate in anaerobic mode, they start filling up with lactic acid within seconds. A cat is a pure sprinter, not a marathon runner, and every single part of her body is engineered for one lightning-fast sprint that decides the outcome of the hunt in 3 to 4 seconds flat. 14. Is it true that every cat has a unique nose print? It is. The texture and pattern of the skin on a cat's nose, the network of tiny bumps, ridges, and lines, is completely unique, just like a human fingerprint. No two cats in the world share the exact same nose print, not even identical twin kittens from the same litter. In fact, some animal shelters and veterinary clinics are already using high-resolution photos of cat noses as an official way to identify pets. There are even mobile apps that can log and recognize a cat by its nose print with an accuracy rate that rivals human facial recognition. This distinct pattern forms well before the kitten is even born and stays exactly the same throughout their entire life. This makes the nose the absolute most reliable biometric marker a cat has. Way more reliable than fur color, which can fade or change as they get older, and safer than a microchip, which can sometimes stop working or shift around under the skin. 15. How do cats find their way home? We've all heard the unbelievable stories. A cat accidentally falls out of a car in a completely strange city 200 miles away from home and shows up at her owner's front door 2 months later. Or a cat gets lost at a vacation cabin 30 miles out and makes it back to the city apartment 3 weeks later. There are thousands of these stories out there, fully documented and verified. Trying to explain this using just instinct doesn't cut it, Because instinct alone can't guide an animal through completely unfamiliar territory it has never stepped foot in before. Instead, scientists have discovered 3 distinct high-tech navigation systems that cats appear to use all at the exact same time. Magnetoreception. The built-in compass. Scientists have found specialized cells inside cats' brains that contain magnetite, a natural mineral that reacts to the Earth's magnetic fields. These cells act like an internal compass, showing the cat which way is north regardless of the terrain, the weather, or the time of day. In experiments where researchers attached small magnets to cats' heads to scramble their perception of the magnetic field, the cats completely lost their ability to navigate, proving just how vital this magnetic sense is. The olfactory map. The smell landscape. A cat's nose is packed with roughly 200 million scent receptors. To a cat, every single geographic area has its own unique smell profile, made up of soil composition, local plants, water sources, city smog, and the scents of other local animals. A cat memorizes this massive smell map of her home territory. As she gets closer to home, she can track the changing gradients of familiar smells, navigating her way forward much like a human would follow the scent of fresh bread to find a bakery down the block. A solar compass. Tracking the sky. Cats can actively track the position of the sun in the sky and cross-reference it with their internal biological clock. This allows them to figure out exactly which direction they are heading based on the time of day and the sun's angle above the horizon. While this system only works when the sky is clear, when you combine it with their magnetic compass and their smell map, it builds a flawless, tri-layered navigation system. It allows a cat to pinpoint her home with a level of accuracy that is hard to explain with a basic word like instinct. So, your house cat, the very same one who gets confused between the hallway and the bathroom and acts shocked every single day when you put her food bowl in the exact same spot, is carrying around the exact same high-tech navigation equipment as a feral cat that walked 200 miles across a state line to get home. It's just that her system never needs to activate because her entire world is about 6 feet away from the living room couch, and you don't exactly need the Earth's magnetic field to find